Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and this video is the first video I'm officially recording since moving to college. Now, I'm just gonna prefix this. This is gonna be a little bit of a longer intro for me, but if you guys been watching me for maybe I would say the past, ever since I started my channel, or even if you've been following me since Instagram, you would know my go-to supplies used to be Prismacolor Premier color pencils, or just color pencils in general. Now, I still absolutely love colored pencils. I have a full collection of the Prismacolor. I have a big set of the Caran d'Ache. I spend a lot of money on colored pencils. And when I came up here, I did not bring any of that with me. I only really brought my charcoal kit, and I just bought oil painting stuff for my painting class, so we're going to be getting into that. Hopefully I'll be at least see some of that. But yeah, I've tried a fair bit of mediums. I've done colored pencils, I've done crayons from the crayon video, I've done charcoal for more recent videos, I've done digital, I've done, I'd like to say, a lot of different mediums. But my old go-to was just colored pencils. A lot of my older pieces were just straight colored pencils. If you guys been following me since my early Instagram era, I had a whole summer where I just did smaller drawings that were just completely colored pencils, maybe a little bit here and there with alcohol marker, and then like obviously gel pen on the top. But for the most part, I have not done colored pencils in a hot minute, mainly because after I graduated high school and everything, I stopped. And I'm not happy about that. I still love me colored pencils. Now, it's been months since I think my last actual colored pencil drawing was the Crush Can one. That was the most recent one, if that gives you guys an idea of anything. Everything else, everything else has just been digital and charcoal up until that point, and occasionally a painting. But today, I'm going to be challenging myself to see if I still got it and I can complete a drawing. I already did the sketch with only colored pencils. Now, this is not really a typical challenge, I would say, for me, because I have done this before, but it has been a minute since I've used just straight colored pencils, or even just anything colored pencil related. So I'm a little nervous. Do I remember any of my techniques? Do I remember how to blend? Do I remember how to do anything? We're about to find that out in today's video. Also, if you guys are excited to see any kind of like future content, definitely let me know down in the comments below what you want to see. That way, if I have time, I can film it, because yeah, I've already planned 2 videos at this point, but I've already canceled both of them. So yeah, let's get into this. I'm actually excited. Before we actually get into the actual video of time-lapse, I'm actually going to be explaining the color pencils I'm using. Now, I'm using the Prismacolor Premier 36 color set of colored pencils. Now, again, like I said in the intro bit, I own a lot of these. I spent an ungodly amount of money just on this brand alone. Am I proud of that? Depend, varying. If this was me, this was like my absolute dream, owning even a 10 of these. I remember for my not my first birthday, but I remember 3 years ago when I was turning, I think 17, after I started Instagram and everything, because I had started my Instagram when I was 16. When I turned 17 the next year, I asked for and the only gift I got, and I was so happy, was the 72 count of these colored pencils. Only thing I got, and my life has changed for the best. Now, I love this brand. There's a lot of pros and cons with these. These are relatively affordable compared to, you know, more expensive, higher grade colored pencils. These are great for beginners, or I would say if you know what you're doing a little bit and want to improve, definitely get this. Yeah, I also use the Caran d'Ache ones, which I've also not used in a while, but those are super expensive. These are great for, you know, pro artists, or even getting into like a little bit of beginner artists. Now, do I recommend these as a beginning artist? No, because these are still really good quality. They are a little bit more expensive for like if you use like Crayola color pencils, but this is definitely a great investment, and I do recommend this. This was like $50 at Michael's, so this is a lot of freaking money. So take that what you will. I'll be using only these for this whole thing. Yeah, and this is the drawing. Now, I'm probably also going to be using some sort of white gel pen for the highlights, because as much as I love this white color pencil from this, I prefer the white highlight. Thank you very much. Especially since I think this will be good for this, because this is a robotic dream. This is a robotic drawing, so I can already kind of see what I'm going to be doing for this. So let's actually get into the time lapse. Okay, so right now this is what we're working with, and looking at the reference, I'm not completely I'm not completely happy with this because looking at the reference compared to this is definitely not the best. I'm definitely missing a couple undertones currently. You also noticed that I used a marker. Now, the reason I did this is a Ohuhu Art Marker Colorless Blender. Now, the reason why I was doing this all over here is, if, as you guess and you notice, it helps cover up a lot of the white. Now, this also does help blend. I've done this technique countless of times. The only downside is because I haven't done it in a while. Maybe it's because the art markers are old, or they're just really, really, like, they're out of ink, maybe, and they're really patchy. But the blend is not that great as I remember it being. I remember these being really, really good at blending the color together. But yeah, that's just what I noticed. Now, it's doing good. Now, the reason why I'm doing this instead of burnishing is because I used burnishing, and you want to use burnishing if you're doing just straight color pencils, or just color pencils in general. You do burnishing at the very, very end. You're not, because you cannot add any more layers to it. Now, if you scrape the color pencil off, like in the crayon video, I tried scraping the wax off. That could probably help. But burnishing is typically used for the last step. And if I burnish now, then I can't add anything else on top of it without it looking really streaky and just really not good in general, from my standards at least. So yeah, this pretty much what this does, this just moves the color around, so like it hides up a lot of the white of the paper, but it's not a final wax layer. It's literally just ink moving it around, because then I can keep going on top. I can keep adding more layers. I can keep doing this, and it'll be completely fine. So yeah, if you see this, and that's why. Also, if you see me just using a white color pencil to blend, that's also completely fine. I don't really recommend this technique though, however, if you're going to for just pure blending. If you're happy with everything else on it, on the page, this is probably not the best, because even though this does blend, it lightens up the color. Now, maybe you're needing a little bit of a lightening stage for here and there. I could definitely do that on this, and that'll be fine. But in general, if you're just going for a pure blend, I would just learn to burnish, or just use this. Definitely do not use a white Prisma if you're going for just a color last blend. This is just my opinion. So, it is the next day, and I actually did start drawing this. Not drawing, I started continuing working on it earlier this morning when I woke up. But this is currently the progress. Okay, on camera, it looks fucking cool. I'm gonna give myself that. Doing this whole thing so far has made me realize that I remember now why I stopped only using colored pencils. Because if this was me 2 years ago, this would have taken me maybe majority of a day to finish it if I was working on it continuously for my old previous schedule. But yeah, this is just a little update. Earlier this morning I was really tired, so I might work on this a little bit more. I did a lot of this off camera because there's going to be a lot to go through and edit. And yeah, this is what I got so far. It's not bad so far, but I'll start recording back now after I eat. So yeah. Alright, so it is officially the end of the drawing. Now, near the end, I will admit, I did get a little bit lazy with, honestly, everything. And so, it is not my best piece I've done, but it's definitely not my worst piece I've done. Early Instagram. And let me just show you. It's not bad. It looks a lot better in person than it does on camera, especially when I took the photo for the thumbnail. It did not look anything like this. So I'm a little bit upset about that, so I gotta tweak that a little bit later. But yeah, this is literally just everything with just colored pencils. And honestly, it was an experience. To be fair, like, this is what it's doing to my notebook. To be fair, this is like really thin paper. I just got those super cheap at Michaels, so take that with a pinch of salt. But overall, I think I had a good experience. I will say, and I'm gonna pat myself on the back and say I am definitely not as rusty as I thought I was. But I do remember now why I stopped only using colored pencils for an entire piece. It is super time consuming and it can get really, really, really annoying really quickly. So yeah, also one thing that I was not able to do was add the highlights. Now that kind of sucks because I remember a lot of my older pieces I was able to use highlights, but also like that was also using colored pencils with alcohol markers, so maybe it worked a lot better than it does now. Literally just using straight up gel pens do not work on colored pencils, which sucks, so that's why there's no highlights in here. But yeah, this was my first video in college, and I'm hoping you guys really enjoyed it. I'm definitely going to do a room tour, I guess, of my section soon. I don't know when, maybe when I just start feeling like it. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and comment down below what you would like to see me do next time, what you'd like to see me draw, what things you would like me to try to do. But until then, see you next time. Bye!